A leading conservative voice in the House is firing back at the new Democratic majority already. Quote, "We knew they couldn't help themselves," tweets Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan. Rep. Sherman files articles of impeachment on the president. Dems are more focused on stopping Trump than building the wall and helping the country. Okay, so during the speakership vote today, my next guest voted for Jordan. Instead of voting for the new GOP minority leader, Kevin McCarthy, he also got a vote himself for the leading role. Joining us now is Republican Congressman from Kentucky, Thomas Massie. Great to have you with us tonight.
Thanks for having me in the studios.
Okay, let me ask you, curiously, why did you vote for Jordan over McCarthy today?
Jordan said, let's do what we told the people we would do when we campaigned. And, when it looked like we might still be in the majority, Jordan was running for Speaker. And I pledged my vote to him for Speaker, and I followed through, even though it's a vote for Minority Leader. And I think that's what people want us to do. They want us to just do what we said we would do. And it was an easy vote for me. Now, I did get one vote for Speaker.
You did.
I tied with Joe Biden. He got one vote.
The Speaker vote's always very fun to watch.
It is fun to watch. It was more fun to watch the Democrat side because they had fractures over there that you're starting to see. Some of their members who are to the left of Nancy Pelosi, if you can imagine that, were fracturing away from her. But she was able to hang on in the Speaker vote. And that's where all the drama was, really.
It was. Okay, so tonight, more drama. Just a short time ago, you guys were over on the Hill voting on some measures to get the government reopened and funded. Obviously, the Democrats are in control now, so what they offer up is not going to be the ideal package that you're going to want to see.
Right.
But as I asked Chris, this goes to the Senate now. The president has said he will not sign this stuff without wall funding. Nancy Pelosi says you get $0 for the wall, maybe $1.
Right.
So how in the world do you resolve this while the American people and 800,000 federal government workers wait for a solution?
Well, I think we all forgot that cartoon we watched, Schoolhouse Rock. When the Senate passes a bill and the House passes a bill dealing with the same topic and their differences, they both appoint members to a conference committee who go together and negotiate a compromise bill, which then goes back to each chamber. That's the old Schoolhouse Rock cartoon. And then each chamber votes on it up or down. No amendments can be offered. And so that's really where I think we should go next. But as you saw Pelosi, she doesn't want to give $1 for the wall.
Maybe one, she said.
And I agree with Chris. This is a rounding error in our federal budget. I mean, not to take it lightly, but we spent $100 billion on disaster relief for Texas, Florida, and California and Puerto Rico last year. That's $100 billion for those disasters. What about the disaster at our border? Can't we spend $5 billion on that?
Well, let me ask you about Senator Cory Gardner, a Republican, who says we should not be figuring out this wall funding in the midst of funding the wall. He says we should pass the bipartisan appropriations bills. That includes money for border security. While we continue to fight for more border security money, Congress needs to take further action on border security, but that work should be done when it's fully open, when the government's funded.
No, I think this is where Trump needs to make his stand. He's got a good position. 3/4 of the government is entitlements. That goes on whether we vote for it or not. That's not shut down. And of the appropriations, 3/4 of that is funded. The military is funded, Department of Education, Department of Labor. There's a lot of government that has been funded. So we're talking about 1/4 of a quarter that's not funded right now. The president is right to take his stand here.
You say use leverage. Before you go, I want to ask you, today you have reintroduced your bill. It's bipartisan.
Yes.
To audit the Fed. Does it go anywhere? What happens next?
It's passed twice in the House with a veto-proof majority. And now I think the president could support something like this. Like
he has some issues with the Fed.
He's not a big fan of the Fed, so I think it's the best time now, more than ever, to pass audit the Fed. I think the president would sign it, and we just need to get it passed in the Senate.
Okay, well, we will watch. Keep us updated, because
All right.
a lot of Americans out there, they want to get their eyes on some of that information, too.
Thanks,
All
Shannon.
right, Congressman, great to have you with us tonight.
Good to be here.